responsiveness, and innovation. There are different types of change: technical, service, structural, and human resource change. Technical change is about improving the design and delivery of health services. Service change is concerned with the introduction of new services in the healthcare facility. Structural change consists of improvements in the managerial or administrative activities. Human resource change may constitute efforts to influence attitudes, behaviors, skills, and values of the employees.
Aziz decided to implement an electronic health record to be more accessible, accurate, and efficient. He used Kotter's 8-step change model to facilitate the changes that he wants to happen.
The first step is to create urgency. Everyone must understand and see the need for change and be aware of how urgent this change is to get things moving. Identify potential threats and develop scenarios showing what could happen in the future. Request support from clients or patients, outside stakeholders, and nursing sector movers and shakers to strengthen your argument.
The second step is to form a powerful coalition. Once formed, the Change Coalition needs to work as a team and provide feedback. You would have a hard time leading the whole change process on your own. Therefore, it is important to build a coalition by gathering leaders from the different departments.
For the third step, we need to create a vision for change. The team needs to create a clear vision that is easy to understand and a strategy to execute that vision. While this vision should be simple and understandable, it also needs to be inspirational to have maximum effect.
The fourth step is to communicate the vision. Creating the vision is not enough to generate support. It also needs to be communicated throughout the organization. This is an excellent opportunity to utilize the coalition you have built up, as between them, they are likely to have networks in every area of the business. Apply the vision to all aspects of operation from training to performance reviews.
The fifth step is to remove barriers. Identify barriers such as tradition, legislation, or physical barriers as early as possible, and rely on available resources to break them down, without disrupting any other areas of the organization. Look at the organizational structure, job description, performance, and compensation system to ensure that they're in line with the vision.
For the sixth step, we need to create short-term wins. It is important to demonstrate the advantages of the new process by creating some short-term wins to justify investment and effort and help remotivate staff. When a short-term goal is met, you must acknowledge and reward those who are responsible for these quick wins to encourage other employees as well.
The seventh step is to build on the change. Keep setting goals and analyzing what could be done better for continued improvement. After every win, analyze what went right and what needs improving. Set goals to continue building on the momentum you have achieved.
For the eighth and final step, anchor the changes in organizational culture. The changes should become part of the core of the organization to have a lasting effect. To do this, the EHR should be meeting agenda, and the change ideals and values should be included when hiring and training new staff. Keeping senior stakeholders on board, encouraging and celebrating employees who adopt the changes will all help to promote change to the core of the organization.
Create a sense of urgency.
Recruit powerful change leaders.
Build a vision and effectively communicate it.
Remove obstacles.
Create quick wins.
And build on your momentum.
If you do these things, you can change a part of your organizational culture.
That's when you can declare a true victory.
So sit back
And enjoy
the change that you have envisioned.
Managing a nursing service.
Good morning, everyone. Our first speaker is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Nursing at the University of the Cordilleras. He is currently working as a head nurse in Baguio General Hospital. Let us give a round of applause to one of our speakers, Mr. Carlo Manuel.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. From the word manage means having control or authority in order to have a good outcome of service for the client. Because the outcome of health care will depend on how nursing services are managed. And take note, managers and leaders has a big role in healthcare system. As a nurse, management is very important because we need to set a standard in order for us to give a good service. And after this seminar, I am hoping that everyone will be able to have specific sets of competencies in the NNCCS, which means National Nursing Core Competency Standard. You will know the learning activities that will enable the learner to implement NNCCS.
What are the competencies in managing a nursing service? Number 1. Coordinate the tasks or functions of other nursing personnel by determining the nature of workload to be done, because it can prevent burnout or stress which may affect the performance of nursing personnel. Also, you have to assign each member of the team his or her tasks or functions to be done according to his or her level of competence. For example, Nurse 1 will be in charge in doing all the vital signs. Nurse 2 will be in charge in giving all the medications.
Mobilization of resources. When we say that, we mean that it is a certain way of carrying out strategies to complete a mission. Mission is a set of objectives that can be carried out in the hospital to complete that mission. So when we look at that part of mobilization, we have government agencies and we also have the hospital itself, the management of the hospital itself to be carrying out effective strategies that can be maintained in the hospital.
Nursing leadership and management, there should be evaluation of specific component of nursing service based on their criteria. Let me explain it more for you. So we need to specify every result and outcome of nursing health program and nursing service based on the criteria. So in order for us to know if our health program have been effectively achieved, we need to do evaluation.
Competency of a nursing manager is coordination, collaboration, communication, group process, staffing. The care coordination concept encourages the nurses to work cooperatively with the multiple disciplinary health teamwork. Collaboration is to enhance a person's participation in decision making to accomplish the mutual goals, understanding and developing competence in group process. Communication is the process of exchanging the information using the set of common rules. Communication is the process by which information is exchanged between the team using the special communication skills to deal with the different personalities.
It always starts with being fair and balanced, holding those who are accountable when needed, and recognizing those who perform well.
A good nurse leader is someone who can inspire others to work together in pursuit of a common goal, such as enhanced patient care.
A good leader should be a good follower, should be a good role model to your subordinates. And also, you should be open-minded and welcome your constructive criticism. Out their opinions and ideas and also their criticism. You should be flexible and always be aware of yourself that you should not be self-centered.
Running healthcare nursing leadership and management is accountability and safety. The word accountability and safety stands out. They say that one key to becoming an effective nurse manager is by promoting peer accountability and maintaining culture of accountability.
As a student nurse, it is where we start to learn all the competencies, and we master it by exposing ourselves to an environment that provides opportunity to exercise our leadership skills.
A leader should not let the subordinates be dependent on them, but rather help them to develop accountability. And when this is developed, then independency will be developed and critical thinking skills are enhanced, thereby empowering them, and errors will surely be avoided.
Any employees is to assign tasks to certain people who can perform the task legally and responsibly.
Delegation is a vital tool to helping out our fellow healthcare workers spend their time in the most productive ways possible. As a student nurse, it builds valuable skills and maximizes patient care outcomes.
Delegation in the hospital is not exercising your right as the senior staff or senior nurse. It is a way for you to help and boost your colleagues, because it will never be that new nurse will delegate. So when you delegate, it's like our assessment process wherein you will assess if what you have delegated is done properly by your junior nurse or a new nurse. After that, of course, after observing that result, you will plan on additional or further teaching your new nurse, and then you will implement on what you have observed is lacking. And as well as in delegation, you will be able to evaluate objectively your colleague. So in delegation, it is a part of learning process of the new nurse and of you in developing your leadership and in managing your ward.
In a hospital setting where there is an influx of patients, delegation of tasks to nurses is very important to improve quality health care.
As a nursing student, delegation is so important because patient care requires many time-consuming tasks.
It is important for us professionals, especially as nurses, to ensure our patients' safety, for it is our responsibility to keep our patients safe and to better care for them and to serve them. We need to be accountable for our own actions by means of making sound decision-making choices so that we won't be having unfair consequences that may harm our patients.
It is necessary to ensure the task that you've been delegated is appropriate and will cause patient-client no harm.
Meet Aziz, the nurse manager of a hospital. He is looking for new ways to get work done faster, better, and with higher levels of quality and service to increase productivity. He knows that change is necessary for organizations to adapt to the environment that is constantly evolving. It is needed to achieve and sustain competitiveness, responsiveness, and innovation. There are different types of change: technical, service, structural, and human resource change. Technical change is about improving the design and delivery of health services. Service change is concerned with the introduction of new services in the healthcare facility. Structural change consists of improvements in the managerial or administrative activities. Human resource change may constitute efforts to influence attitudes, behaviors, skills, and values of the employees.
Aziz decided to implement an electronic health record to be more accessible, accurate, and efficient. He used Cotter's 8-step change model to facilitate the changes that he wants to happen.
The first step is to create urgency. Everyone must understand and see the need for change and be aware of how urgent this change is to get things moving. Identify potential threats and develop scenarios showing what could happen in the future. Request support from clients or patients, outside stakeholders, and nursing sector movers and shakers to strengthen your argument.
The second step is to form a powerful coalition. Once formed, the Change Coalition needs to work as a team and provide feedback. You would have a hard time leading the whole change process on your own. Therefore, it is important to build a coalition by gathering leaders from the different departments.
For the third step, we need to create a vision for the team. The team needs to create a clear vision, easy to understand, and a strategy to execute that vision. While this vision should be simple and understandable, it also needs to be inspirational to have maximum effect.
The fourth step is to communicate the vision. Creating the vision is not enough to generate support. It also needs to be communicated throughout the organization. This is an excellent opportunity to utilize the coalition you have built up, as between them, they are likely to have networks in every area of the business. Apply the vision to all aspects of operation from training to performance reviews.
The fifth step is to remove barriers. Identify barriers such as tradition, legislation, or physical barriers as early as possible and rely on available resources to break them down without disrupting any other areas of the organization. Look at the organizational structure, job description, performance, compensation system, ensure that they're in line with the vision.
For the sixth step, we need to create short-term wins. It is important to demonstrate the advantages of the new process by creating some short-term wins to justify investment and effort and help motivate staff. When a short-term goal is met, you must acknowledge and reward those who are responsible for these quick wins to encourage other employees as well.
The seventh step is to build on the change. Keep setting goals and analyzing what could be done better for continued improvement. After every win, analyze what went right and what needs improving. Set goals to continue building on the momentum you have achieved.
For the eighth and final step, anchor the changes in organizational culture. The changes should become part of the core of the organization to have a lasting effect. To do this, the EHR should be meeting agenda, and the change ideals and values should be included when hiring and training new staff. Keeping senior stakeholders on board, encouraging and celebrating employees who adopt the changes will all help to promote change to the core of the organization.
Create a sense of urgency.
Recruit powerful change leaders.
Build a vision and effectively communicate it.
Remove obstacles.
Create quick wins
And build on your momentum.
If you do these things, you can change a part of your organizational culture.
That's when you can declare a true victory.
So sit back
And enjoy
the change that you have envisioned.
Managing a nursing service.
Good morning, everyone. Our first speaker is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Nursing at the University of the Cordilleras. He is currently working as a head nurse in Baguio General Hospital. Let us give a round of applause to one of our speakers, Mr. Carlo Manalo.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. From the word manage means having control or authority in order to have a good outcome of service for the client. Because the outcome of health care will depend on how nursing services are managed. And take note, managers and leaders has a big role in healthcare system. As a nurse, management is very important because we need to set a standard in order for us to give a good service. And after this seminar, I am hoping that everyone will be able to have specific sets of competencies in the NNCCS, which means National Nursing Core Competency Standard. You will know the learning activities that will enable the learner to implement NNCCS.
What are the competencies in managing a nursing service? Number 1. Coordinate the tasks or functions of other nursing personnel by determining the nature of workload to be done, because it can prevent burnout or stress which may affect the performance of nursing personnel. Also, you have to assign each member of the team his or her tasks or functions to be done according to his or her level of competence. For example, Nurse 1 will be in charge doing all the vital signs. Nurse 2 will be in charge in giving all the medications.
Mobilization of resources. When we say that, we mean that it is a certain way of carrying out strategies to complete a mission. Mission is a set of objectives that can be carried out in the hospital to complete that mission. So when we look at that part of mobilization, we have government agencies and we also have the hospital itself, the management of the hospital itself to be carrying out effective strategies that can be maintained in the hospital.
Nursing leadership and management, there should be evaluation of specific component of nursing service based on their criteria. Limits manage more for you. So we need to specify every result and outcome of nursing health program and nursing service based on the criteria. So in order for us to know if our health program have been effectively achieved, we need to do evaluation.
The competency of nursing manager is coordination, collaboration, communication, group process, staffing. The care coordination concept encourages the nurses to work cooperatively with the multiple disciplinary health teamwork. Collaboration is to enhance a person's participation in decision making to accomplish the mutual goals, understanding and developing the competence in group process. Communication is the process of exchanging the information using the set of common rules. Communication is process by which information is exchanged between the team using the special communication skills to deal with the different personalities.
It always starts with being fair and balanced, holding those who are accountable when needed, and recognizing those who perform well.
A good nurse leader is someone who can inspire others to work together in pursuit of a common goal, such as enhanced patient care.
A good leader should be a good follower, should be a good role model to your subordinates. And also, you should be open-minded and welcome your constructive criticism. Their opinions and ideas and also their criticism. You should be flexible and always be aware of yourself that you should not be self-centered.
Nursing leadership and management in accountability and safety. The word accountability and safety stands out. They say that one key to becoming an effective nurse manager is by promoting peer accountability and maintaining culture of accountability.
As a student nurse, it is where we start to learn all the competencies and we master it by exposing ourselves to an environment that provides opportunity to exercise our leadership skills.
A leader should not let the subordinates be dependent on them, but rather help them to develop accountability. And when this is developed, then independency will be developed and critical thinking skills are enhanced, thereby empowering them, and errors will surely be avoided.
Any employees is to assign tasks to certain people who can perform the task legally and responsibly.
Delegation is a vital tool to helping out our fellow healthcare workers spend their time in the most productive ways possible. As a student nurse, it builds valuable skills and maximizes patient care outcomes.
Delegation in the hospital is not exercising your right as the senior staff or senior nurse. It is a way for you to help and boost your colleagues, because it will never be that new nurse will delegate. So when you delegate, it's like our assessment process wherein you will assess if what you have delegated is done properly by your junior nurse or a new nurse. After that, of course, after observing that result, you will plan on additional or further teaching your new nurse, and then you will implement on what you have observed is lacking. And as well as in delegation, you will be able to evaluate objectively your colleague. So in delegation, it is a part of learning process of the new nurse and of you in developing your leadership and in managing your ward.
In a hospital setting where there is an influx of patients, delegation of tasks to nurses is very important to improve quality healthcare.
As a nursing student, delegation is so important because patient care requires many time-consuming tasks.
It is important for us professionals, especially as nurses, to ensure our patients' safety, for it is our responsibility to keep our patients safe and to better care for them as we serve them. We need to be accountable for our own actions by means of making sound decision-making choices so that we won't be having any direct consequences that may harm our patients.
It is necessary to ensure the task that you've been delegated is appropriate and will cause patient-client no harm.
A blessed afternoon again to our participants, clinical instructors, and to our guest speaker. I am Eiffel.
And I am Yuri.
And we are your hosts for
today.
today. So let's make this seminar more interactive by utilizing the hand gestures on your screen whenever you hear an idea that you like or relate to. And please keep your speakers on mute to avoid any distraction.
So to start off with our program, let's acknowledge the presence of our Creator. Let's bow down our heads as Mr. Abdurrahman leads us in a Muslim prayer and Miss Atangan for our Christian prayer.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم صدق الله العظيم آمين.
Good evening, everyone. Let's all start this meeting with a prayer. Let us bow our head and put ourselves in the holiness of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Almighty and ever-loving God, we glorify and thank Thee, Your name. You have showered us with so much blessings, and Your presence continuously reminds us of Your faithfulness and guidance. Thank you for allowing us today to meet and share our knowledge and time with one another in this webinar. With this, may we humbly ask you to shower our speaker today of your greatest inspiration so that he may share the most of his knowledge, heart, and soul to his respective topic. May we also absorb the invaluable knowledge experiences and put it into practice what we may learn today. May he be blessed as he continues to bring his expertise to people who need them. We pray also that you bless all the teams in charge that we may be able to fulfill our task responsibly, that the objectives we have set may all be achieved. Your infinite blessing would mean the success of this webinar. Bless the participants as well so that they would be able to glean the vital information from this meeting. May we be a living witnesses of your genuine love through the enactment of the knowledge acquired through this seminar, so that we may go out and spread what we learned in the spirit of your love and generosity. We ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
To give us welcoming remarks, may we have Mom Juliet Avena, the program chair for hospital practice.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Excuse me. I was so amazed and happy to see you with the video clips that you shared a while ago, and I can really see potential leaders and managers. Anyway, thank you for making me part of this first ever digital seminar series in nursing leadership and management. Of course, well uploaded to you, organizing fourth-year students, and of course, spearheaded by your advisor, Mr. Virgo Lopez. And I would like also to take this opportunity to commend our speaker, Mr. Bristol. These two are our graduates, and they are one of the most active and student leaders during their time, and now making names in the nursing profession. I know this series of webinars would prepare you to be ready as good leaders and managers in the future. Okay, so again, welcome to the last na to, diba? Last series of your nursing leadership and management seminar. Magandang hapon po and welcome everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am, for that warm remarks.
Thank you, Ma'am.
So, partner, before we start, how was your weekend?
Oh, it was a very productive weekend, actually. Thank you for asking. How about yours?
Of course, sa akin naman, partner. I'm very blessed for the whole week. You wanna know why?
Why?
Because yesterday we were together with our other classmates.
Yeah, talking about the webinar itself.
Yeah, we have really prepared for this webinar. So, what is your expectation for today, partner?
Oh, since our topic for today is about emerging opportunities for the nurses, I'm expecting to learn more about the career or jobs that we may hopefully land on in the future. How about you?
Huwag mo na akong ini-English, partner. Medyo.
Sorry.
Yun, partner. Sa akin din, I'm really expecting ideas yun for this webinar. Diba? From our speaker. Malay mo naman, diba? Magkaroon tayo ng greater desire na makapunta all over the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright.
Hopefully.
So just an additional reminder for everyone, if you have questions during the presentation, please type it in the box, in the chat box, and you can send it privately, and we will bring them up later on after the presentation.
Okay, now without further ado, we will turn the time over to our guest, Mr. Remigel R. Bristol, MAN, RN, LPT, GKPRN, and USRN. May we have a virtual clap for him?
Okay. Hi.
So to give a little background of our speaker for today, he is Mr. Bristol, graduated at the University of the Cordilleras with a degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, batch 2012. So he passed the nursing licensure examination for June of the same year and the licensure exam for teachers in August 2014. So he earned his Master's of Arts in Earning at Lyceum Northwestern University in 2016. And he also has 4 years of combined experience as a dialysis and ICU nurse in the Philippines. Wow.
He is also a registered nurse in Germany, where he worked as a surgical ICU nurse in University Hospital of Bonn for almost 2 years. Moreover, he successfully passed the National Council Licensure Examination, or New York NCLEX, last June. At present, he is residing at Illinois, USA, together with his family, and is set to work as a medical ICU nurse at OSF Medical Center, Peoria, Illinois.
So everyone, can we just give a virtual clap to our speaker for tonight?
Hello, Mr. Remigel.
Hi. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Hello, sir. We're having difficulty hearing you, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, thank you for that wonderful introduction. Good afternoon to Mama Bena, the students, and Mr. Virgo Lopez. And yeah, I'm a little bit nervous because it's my first time to attending this kind of online seminar, webinar. But I'm highly excited to share with you guys my experiences both in the Philippines and abroad. So let me send to you my prepared presentation. Okay. So.
Sir, you can now share screen.
Sir Lopez, can you see my PowerPoint presentation? Or
no, sir. Probably, are
no.
you sharing from your end, sir?
I'm sorry?
Okay. Sir Barcar, say probably we can share from our end.
Okay, sir. Wait lang po.
Thank you. We can see it now, Sir Remigel.
We can now see your screen, sir.
Okay, so good. Okay. Hi, good afternoon to all of you. BCCon students, Mama Vena, and the clinical instructor, Sir Virgo Lopez. And good morning from here in Illinois. It's already 4:30 a.m. here. So yeah. Yeah, so I'm Mr. Remigel Bristol. I'll be discussing now the emerging opportunities for nurses amidst disruptions. Okay, so that's me. I'm just joking. So after graduating and passing the nursing licensure examination year 2012, I think, I didn't know what to do. Honestly, I just want to relax and what do you call this one? I just want to relax because after spending 4 years and stressing myself, graduating nurse and passing the exam, I just want to relax. And that time, I think I didn't have any plan to what do you call this one? I didn't any exact plan to enter hospital or community health nursing, and because I lose hope in the nursing in the Philippines, so I rested for I think a couple of months. But my mother told me to okay, just push through, just be a nurse for the meantime, and then perhaps in the future we will love nursing or just go to another course. So to make it short, I did some research and I had this what they call dialysis nursing. I applied for dialysis training with D. Brown. B2. At the time, I'm not familiar with D. Brown. I'm just new, first news. So I tried to apply with D. Brown, and luckily I was accepted for training and with their dialysis training. I had training with Baguio General Hospital Dialysis Center and employed to the Dagupan Doctors Hospital, the hospital in Dagupan, and lastly the National Training Institute. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Kung napuputol ako. Mabagal siguro. So yun, wait. So itatago ko muna yung script ko. Okay lang. Okay. Napuputol ako, tapos na... sorry, it's my first time to use... Sorry, it's my first time to use this kind of seminar, Zoom.
No,
I'm not used to it. Okay. Wait lang. So, hindi ko na lahat masasabi yung script ko, pero yun. That's my experience in the Philippines. Sorry. Wait. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Lopez. Thank you, Mr. Lopez, for the technical assistance. Okay. Wait. So that's me. Okay, let's go. So I'll be discussing to you guys what is happening. So I'll be discussing to you guys the emerging opportunities in both local and abroad. And I'll be also discussing some of the information about NCLEX as requested by your instructor. And yeah, let's go first to local emerging opportunities. We have emerging opportunities in hospitals, government, and in corporate world. So when I say government, I'm referring to government agencies, and hospitals, I'm referring to public and private hospitals. So let's go first in the hospital emerging opportunities. So there are a lot of opportunities in the Philippines, particularly in the hospital, especially now that with this pandemic. So I'll be presenting to you some of the big hospitals in the Philippines that are now actively hiring. So we have so first the St. Luke's Medical Center. Based on my friends, according to my friends, they are now hiring for nurses to be assigned to different areas to their hospital, particularly ICU and med-surg wards. So I did some research and I found these articles in their official website. They are now hiring a lot of healthcare professionals, particularly that includes the registered nurses. And according to my friends, the St. Luke's Hospital doesn't doesn't need experience. However, I think you need to have a good official transcript of records. Yeah, so you need to have. I mean, you should graduate using fine. Second one is the Asian Hospital and Medical Center. This hospital is also actively hiring for registered nurses, particularly to be assigned to hemodialysis center and to other areas. So both hospitals, the St. Luke's and the Asian Hospital and Medical Centers are JCI accredited. When we say JCI, these are, I mean, JCI is a status that means it is it is an international standard status. So if you plan to go to UK, here in US or other first world countries, try first to apply to JCI hospitals in the Philippines because that's your advantage. Because meaning, for example, if St. Luke's is JCI, the practice is almost the same with the practice in big hospitals in the UK, for example. So it's a tip for you guys to apply to big hospitals like Asian Hospital Medical Center in St. Luke's. That's your advantage when you apply abroad. So third hospital I found is the Manila Doctors Hospital. This hospital is also hiring for endoscopy nurse and aesthetic nurse. They also hiring for child neuro nurse and floater nurse and staff nurses for their satellite clinics. And we have also the MMC or the Makati Medical Center. Yeah. And according to my friends there in MMC, they don't really need experience for you to apply to their hospital. And we have our own BGH Medical Center, or Baguio General Hospital Medical Center. Okay. Based on their official Facebook page, they're still hiring for nurses. However, we know that it's hard to apply to them, especially if you especially if you are not I mean, if you have if you don't have any experience first, though they say here that no experience required, but you know the reality. Sorry, excuse me. So we also have in Dagupan the Dagupan Dr. Villaflor Hospital, Memorial Hospital. It's also, I think, I'm not sure if it is a JCI accredited, but it is comparable to St. Luke's Medical Center in Manila. So this hospital is now looking for staff nurses also. So we have the last two, the UST Hospital and the University of Santo Tomas Hospital. This one, UST Hospital is one of my dream hospitals. However, I wasn't accepted because of experience and because of my boarding rate. So yeah, now the hospital is actively hiring for nurses, and they don't require, or the hospital doesn't require any experiences. And lastly, the Notre Dame Hospital there in Baguio. The hospital is also looking for registered nurses. So based on their official website, I think they prefer to have you to have been nursing experience before applying. So, yeah. And, okay, so let's see. Those are just the few emerging opportunities there in the Philippines in a hospital setting. I know there are a lot of hospitals that are now open and are hiring for RNs. So we have also in Cebu and now, but I have only limited time, so I just discussed the some of the big hospitals there in the Philippines. So so I'm done with the hospital. Next one is the emerging opportunities in government agencies. So, excuse me. So, we also have opportunities in government agencies, particularly in Department of Health, military, PNP, and BJMP. First, in DOH, so in DOH, as of 2020, there are the DOH needs 10,693 nurses specifically to fight COVID-19. However, based on the data that I found with this one, so 10,693, there are hiring available positions. However, as of I think September 2020, the field there are already filled slots. For example, for nurses, they already have the DOH already has 2,731. And for medtech and doctors, they already filled the 1,356 slots, and other health professionals already filled 3,969. So, however, as of now, the DOH still looking for another 2,693. So, in case, just in case, these positions are still available until next year after you pass the nursing licensure examination, why not try to apply? So yeah, we also have emerging opportunities in the armed forces of the Philippines. We call this one as nurse corps. So you will be called as military nurse. So the AFP, the AFP needs 1,000 registered nurses. And also the PNP, the Philippine National Police, needs 17,000 nurses according to Inquirer. So yeah, why not try applying to other government agencies as police nurses, for example, PNP as police nurses. We also have jail nurse. They call it jail nurse. I've asked some of my batchmates, and I found some of them as jail. I found them and asked them what their jobs as of now. Some of them said they are jail nurses. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any information, specific information about how many available positions are now offered for registered nurses. Although I found some poster in DOH website about the intention to hire nurses to be assigned to BGMP specifically for this pandemic. So the DOH intends to hire 16 nurses as nurse 2. So I assume when we say nurse 2, it's I assume you need nursing experiences to be applied. I mean to apply for this nursing position. So it's not ideal for new graduate nurses and for new RNs. So that's some of the government agencies that you can apply to. We also have, I think, Bureau of Fire Protection, but I didn't know if you will be, we will work as a fire nurse or what. So I didn't, unfortunately, I didn't find any specific information about BFP or Bureau of Fire Protection as a nurse, working as a nurse. Okay, so we're done with the emerging opportunities with the government and in hospitals. So we go now to the corp.
Without question, there are many more
I'm sorry.
that need to grow. This is why visit you.
Hello, sir. Yes, you can proceed.
And
Okay, because I hear someone speaking. Someone is asking me about something, so that's why I stopped. So can I proceed now or?
Yes, sir, Remedial, you can proceed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I'm done with the emerging opportunities and hospitals in the government agencies. I'll be now discussing about the possible opportunities in the corporate world. And okay, so honestly, I was hesitant to include this one as emerging opportunities for nurses because I don't want to encourage you to not, I don't want to encourage you to apply to I don't want to encourage you to apply to a corporate companies, but I want you to have options later in life because maybe some of you don't want to be hospital nurse or community health nurse. Maybe some of you just want to earn money and just be a nurse. So when we say HMO, I'm not saying just to be a call center agent. We have what we call the Philippine we have what we call the Philippine registered nurse agent, and we have the USRN agent. So here we have companies like Optum, Cognizant, and Accenture that are based now in Bonifacio Global City and in Makati City. The Optum, for example, in Cognizant are USA-based companies or US companies, and Accenture is an Ireland company. So here, I just want to emphasize, I'm not encouraging you to apply in the corporate world after graduating and passing licensure exam. I just want to give you options. So in Optum or these three companies, they offer accounts where you can still be a nurse. So for example, in Optum, they have account for you to be to process papers, medical papers. These medical papers are from USA. So for example, you just sit in front of the computer, and then there are lists of paperwork that you need to process. I think it's about some of them is all about health insurances. So as a nurse agent, you need to decide if you are going to approve the health insurances or what, or just reject it based on the protocols or based on the policies. So my point is, you can still be a nurse in corporate world as nurse agent, and for example, and based on my friends, you could earn as much as or more than 20,000 pesos as Philippine RN agent, and for US RN agent, for those Filipinos or for those Filipino nurses that have what do you call this one, that have NCLEX or that have US or that who are USRN could earn as much as 40,000 to 50,000 pesos. So yeah, it's one of the options if just in case you don't want to go to hospitals or community health nursing. Yeah. So those are the three main emerging opportunities that I've found in the Philippines. Now we're done with the local emerging opportunities. We go now to international. So here, bear with me, guys. Yeah, bear with me because I think I'll be discussing. Let's see what's happening now. Okay, so we have now emerging opportunities abroad. So we have emerging opportunities. For example, okay, we have emerging opportunities. For example, here in Canada, in US, in United Kingdom, in Finland, in Germany, here in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, UAE, particularly Abu Dhabi in Doha, and we also have in Australia, Japan, and New Zealand. However, I'll only be discussing the three main countries that are continuously and actively hiring Filipino nurses. And I chose these three countries because I have better, what do you call this one? I have better grasp because I have somehow direct experience with this country. So I have chosen the USA, Germany, or what we call Germany, Deutschland, and the United Kingdom. So first, let's discuss emerging opportunities in the USA. So we now have, okay, based on the data that I found and based on the research that I found, the Labor Department, okay, I'll be reading my script now. Okay, the Labor Department suggested that the US needs 712,000 new nurses between 2010 and 2020. Okay, so as of now, between these years, the US needs 712,000. However, as of now, these vacancies are still not filled.
Excuse me, Sir Remigel. We're having a problem with your connection. We cannot hear you properly, sir. Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. So do I need to rewind some of my presentation or?
Yeah, it's clear now, sir.
It's clear now, okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I was saying that there are, I'll only be discussing the three main countries that I have better grasp because somehow I have direct experience with these countries. So, for example, in the USA, the demand now based on the Labor Department, between 2010 and 2020, the US needs 712,000 new nurses. Unfortunately, until now, these some or most of the slots or vacancies are not still not yet filled. And according to American Nurses Association, the US will need 1.2 million new nurses by 2022. So, I suggest to you guys to, just in case you have a plan to go abroad, prioritize applying to the USA because the US really needs nurses and there are high demand for nurses. And last May, I think this year, May 2020, the President Trump approved or signed a legislation giving 35,000 for this year, 25,000 green cards for foreign nurses to fight COVID-19 here in the USA. So it's it's an emergency policy for US to acquire more nurses as soon as possible. So yeah. So as I was saying, so that's 2010 to 2020, the demand is 712,000. And by 2024, the demand is 1.2 million. And as of now, the US needs the president signed for 35,000 green cards, to be used for foreign nurses. And okay, so what are the requirements, or what are the things you need to be able to work here, or to be able to apply here in the US? So first, of course, you need to pass first the Philippine Nursing Licensure Examination. So for now, just focus in your requirements, just focus in your study there in the UC. After graduating, focus on your review and pass the licensure examination. And yeah, second, of course, you need to pass the US board examination, what we call the NCLEX. That's the National Council, I think this National Council Licensure Examination. It is accredited by the NCSBN, it's like the Board of Nursing in the whole United States. So okay. So also after passing the Philippine Nursing Licensure Examination and the US board examination, you need to have or you need to pass also an English test, what we call the IELTS. That is, I think, International English Language Testing System. It is administered by the British Council and the IDP Australia. Those are the two agencies that, that administer this type of exam. It's an English test. So you need to have that before applying here in the US. So of course you need experience, nursing experience. So if you're going to ask me how, what do you call this one? How many years do I need to have, or how much experience do I need to have? Honestly, there are every agencies or every states here in the US have different requirements. So some agency, for example, or some states, for example, only require you to have 6 months experience or 2 years experience. So it depends. So those are the requirements you need to have, basic requirements you need to have. The licensure examination there in the Philippines, you need to pass the licensure examination there in the Philippines, the US, and of course the English test, and you need to have experience. So yeah, that's for the US. So we have also emerging opportunities in Deutschland is Germany. So here I have a direct experience because I've worked here for almost 2 years in ICU or in surgical ICU. I could give you a lot of tip and what do you call this one? Tip and strategies that you may use later in life if you plan to go to Germany. So here the requirements needed also is or are the you need to pass first the Philippine Nursing Licensure Examination. You need to have or you need to pass the language test till B2 level, and you need to have also experience. Okay, it depends. Based on my experience, in my own experience, um, in my case, I applied under government agency, under POEA, that's a government program. You know POEA, right? That's a government agency that processes manpower for abroad. So I applied to POEA, and luckily I was accepted under government program. Their basic requirements in government, in POA, I mean, their basic requirements is you must have, in my time, you must have 2 years, at least 2 years experience, but now I think reduce that 1 year experience. So yeah, so after 1 year working in a hospital or in home care or in community, you may apply for Germany. And second, you need to have you need to pass the language exam until B2. So sorry. So you need to pass you need to pass the German language until B2 level. So we have, I think, A1, A1, A2, B1, and B2 until C1 and C2. But for registered nurses, for Filipino nurses, the Germany only requires until B2. So what I did in the Philippines is there was a program provided by the employer, provided by the POE for free. It's German, it's free German language training there in Baguio. So I was trained I attended the training for almost 8 months. We studied the basic German conversations, the grammar, all about German language from each level. So A1 level is the most basic ones, until A2, B1, B2. B2 is if you reach B2, you should or you must know how to converse without fail in German. So yeah, and as I have said, you need to pass also the licensure examination in the Philippines. The POA requires that one, of course. And okay, so that's the requirement in POEA. You need 2 years or 1 year experience. You need at least B1 level. I'm sorry, I need to correct this one. For you to leave or for you to go to Germany, at least B1 level. You need to pass the B1 level. However, in private agencies that also hire Filipino nurses, they require you to have B2 level. So that's the difference. So if you plan to apply via the government program under POA, you need to have B2 level. However, if you plan to apply in private agencies, I think it's I think one of the private agencies that are famous is the Magsaysay agency. You need to have or you need to pass first the B2 level there in the Philippines, and you need to. And however, the advantage in private agency applying in private agencies are one is most agencies don't require you to have nursing experience. So if you plan to go to Germany after passing the Philippine nursing licensure examination, it's okay um, uh, because Germany, some states, some provinces don't require nursing experience. And the good thing is, if you don't have nursing experience there in the Philippines, the hospitals will train you the skills you need to be a German nurse in Germany or in Deutschland. Yeah. And what else I can share with you about Germany? Yeah. Perhaps my hospital experience in Germany. I'm not really surprised because that's Germany. Germany has one of the most complete equipment in terms of intensive nursing. Germany has the most numbers of intensive care units in the world. They have more intensive units than the USA. That's why during this pandemic, or that's why with the COVID-19, Germany is somehow prepared to combat the virus because they are somewhat prepared, and they have more intensive care units. And I believe Germany has 18,000, 17,000 intensive care units all throughout Germany. Yeah. If you have questions about Germany, you can ask me later after the presentation. So yeah, let's go now to the last one. The last one is the United Kingdom. So here the requirements are almost the same as with the United States. So we have, we go to the United Kingdom. So I believe the requirements are, okay, these are the basic requirements you need to have. So, okay. So first, of course, you need to pass the Philippine nursing licensure examination. That's the most basic requirement. And then you need to have experience, and then you need to pass an English test like IELTS and OET. OET is occupational English test. Many nurses have taken this exam. They say it's easier than the IELTS. IELTS is harder, they say, and OET is easier. However, OET is more expensive than the IELTS. And I think the difference between IELTS and OET is IELTS is more on professional or academic exam. So they give the British Council, for example, or IDP, will give you questions or will give you questions about everything. So about business, for example, about hospital, for example, about the current trends, for example. However, in OET, that's why it's easier, it is because the OET is focused on the medical part. So the exam is about how you endorse in the hospital in English, how you do this one in writing, do this one in speaking, like that. So that's why OET is easier. However, it's much more expensive than the IELTS. I think OET is 20,000 plus pesos, and IELTS is 14 or 15,000 pesos per sitting. You need also have to pass the CBT or computer-based test. That's the like the licensure examination in the UK. That's all theory. So it's a theoretical exam. You need to take this CBT computer-based test there in Manila, and the OSCE, that's the practical part of the exam. You will only take this one in the UK. So in short, if you plan to go to the United Kingdom, you need to have the Philippine license. You need to pass the IELTS or OET, and you need to pass the CBT or the computer-based test, and experience at least. Okay, maybe some of you already knew that the UK doesn't need any more or doesn't need any nursing experience. Yeah, that's true. However, you need to think that there are also what do you call this one? There are also fresh graduates in the UK. So it's advisable to apply to the UK if you have experience, because that's your weapon in the battle. It's like the logic. The logic is why does UK for example, why the hospitals in the UK will hire you if they can hire the same people without experience in the UK. So what I'm saying is, if you have experience in the Philippines, that's your leverage, that's your advantage. So yeah, theoretically, yeah, UK doesn't need any more nursing experience, but I advise you to have at least 1 year experience or 2 years experience before applying to the UK, for you to have a higher chance of being accepted in one of the trusts or hospitals in the UK. So, okay, let me add the CBT, for example, the IELTS. The CBT, for example, it's, I think the employer in the UK or the hospitals will will pay this test. IELTS, I'm not sure. Some hospitals will reimburse, and yeah, and the flight ticket, for example, is the flight ticket is also shouldered by the employer. However, the apartment, you need to pay your own apartment there in the UK. Same with in Germany. And those are the main countries that are actively hiring Filipino nurses. I know there are a lot of countries that, like what I've said, that have emerging opportunities, like Japan, for example. They started actively hiring last year Filipino nurses and caregivers. For example, 300 nurses starting last year, and I think they plan to hire thousands more by year 2030. Okay, so yeah, so those are the three main countries that offer or that have emerging opportunities for you guys. So I'm done now with the local and abroad. So I'll be discussing a little bit about NCLEX. Why? Because I believe it's the cream of the crop for you, for us as Filipino nurses. Okay, NCLEX, or what we call the National Council for Licensure Examination, it is developed by the NCSBN, the National Council of State Boards of Nursing. What we in NCLEX, you can take what do you call this one? You can take the exam. It depends in which state you're planning to go or to apply. For example, in New York, in my case, I applied to their website. It's all DIY, and it's a more, what do you call this one? It's more cheaper to apply online than having an agency. So applied for New York, and so I just passed the basic requirements, my Philippine license, the ODR from UC. I think that's all. Only the two. Then you can take their state board exam. So what I'm saying here is each state has different requirements. So if you plan to apply, for example, in California, I think California has stricter rules or stricter requirements for you to have. So it's like California needs to evaluate you about your nursing experiences, your clinical experiences, your subjects, because if you lack, because if you didn't meet some of the clinical hours you need to study in California. And yeah. And here you're seeing now the nursing licensure compact. What are these and what are the significance? If you see the blue ones, those are the nursing licensure compacts. So what are the significance? If you apply, for example, to apply in Wyoming, Wyoming, and you pass the State Board of Nursing, the State Board exam, you can use your Wyoming state license to other states that are colored with blue. So, for example, if you are Wyoming US RN, you can, or Wyoming RN, you can practice to Texas or Oklahoma or Arizona. That's the advantage. So I think there are 23 compact states that, or 20 compact states that we can practice with. So yeah. So in my case, unfortunately, I didn't choose the NY for some reasons. That's why here in Illinois, this is Illinois. So you can see this is the state of Illinois. That's why there's a delay, or that's why until now not working in the hospital because there's a delay in the endorsement of my license from New York to, where's the New York? Forgot. From New York to Illinois. So it's stressful and it's a waste of time, I think. That's why I advise you to apply, if you, just in case you plan to go here, you apply to compact states, the blue ones, because it's more practical, it's more, it's wiser to have that one. So for example, if you took the exam in Texas, Board of Nursing, you can go to, or you can practice to Indiana, Minnesota, and the other states. Yeah, and And what are the other uses of NCLEX? What are the significance of having what are the significances having this title in your name, USRN, in terms or in relation to emerging opportunities? Why? We have here. So passing the NCLEX exam is the only way for you to go here. So that's no nonsense thing. So you need to pass the NCLEX. And second, you can use your NCLEX, just in case you pass the NCLEX, you can use it in Canada. However, it depends. The Canada will evaluate you first and will do the determination if you lack some clinical hours like that, and if you are what do you call this one? You are qualified to practice in Canada. So in Australia, this one I'm not really sure in Australia, but in Australia uses the same thing. So they use also NCLEX as their board exam in Australia. So I'm not sure if you can use your NCLEX here in Australia. I'm not really sure. So yeah, in United Arab Emirates, this one is a new thing. This is an update. I think last year, the United Arab Emirates, particularly the states or provinces of Abu Dhabi, excuse me. The provinces of the states of Abu Dhabi and Doha are now accepting NCLEX. So they have their own board examination. They call it, I think, HAAD. That's the Health Authority of Abu Dhabi. That's that is their board examination, own board examination, and we have it in Dubai, the DHA, or what we call the Dubai Health Authority. So now these two states or two cities are now accepting NCLEX as or it's not exactly as a replacement for the DHA. It's like it's more practicality. So if you already pass the NCLEX, you don't need to pay anymore the HAAD or the DHA. So it's wiser to have NCLEX beforehand. So you can apply to the US, to UAE, and you also in the Philippines. Here, I'm referring to the corporate world. With NCLEX, you could apply also to we call this health companies, health and technological companies like Optum and Cognizant and Accenture as USRN agent. There, like what I've said, you could earn as much as 40 to before tax. And yeah, and NCLEX as an option, or you could have more options if you pass the NCLEX. Just in case you didn't want to go to the US or you don't have any plans or plan to go to the US, why not just take the NCLEX and perhaps in the future change your mind and go to the US. So as a reserve, trying to say. So NCLEX as a reserve. So those are the benefits or the advantages if you have the NCLEX, and of course if you pass the Philippine Nursing Licensure Examination. So in relation to ACE, or to have a higher chance with the emerging opportunities around the world, and of course in the Philippines. So also about NCLEX, I could give you some tips. So here I use UWorld and registerednursRN.com. So I didn't purchase any services or any review centers because I didn't have any money anymore. I think it's the budget for review center, for example, I think it's 20,000 to 30,000 pesos. So I didn't have that money. So for practical purposes, I just availed some of the most famous review platforms, which is UWorld. So you will hear this application in the future if you plan to take the NCLEX exam or NCLEX. UWorld is the best or one of the best review platforms if you want to ace NCLEX or if you want to pass the NCLEX for the first time. And Registered Nurse RN, this is a free one. Regina, the vlogger or the nurse, has a lot of nursing videos in YouTube. So you could also use this if you are having a hard time understanding some of the nursing concepts while in nursing school, for example. So as a tip, you could use this website or the videos for you to understand better about, for example, about the differences of cardiac arrhythmias, etc. So that's all about NCLEX. And I'm sorry guys if I cannot discuss all of the emerging opportunities around the world because I only have 1 hour, I think. And the next slide, I will show you some of my batchmates, just few of them, because most of my batchmates didn't reply with my request because I asked them to send their pictures or to ask them about their work abroad, and just some or few of them replied. Some of my batchmates are now working in the Philippines, in Germany, in the UK, and in the US. And some of them are professional reviewers or national reviewers. And yeah, I'm just so proud. I just want to show you few of them. So we have Miss Samparpo, the jailers at the JMP region 3, I believe. I don't know how many years is there now, but yeah, he's now a jail nurse at BJMP Region 3. We also have Miss Christine Ann Flora, batch 2012, a nurse 1 in BJH. And we have Miss Kim Jane Mamaril, a theatre nurse in University College London Hospital in the UK. And we also have Maureen Badir, staff nurse in King Abdulaziz University Hospital in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And we have Main Yan as Hema Ward in University College London Hospital in London, UK. And also in the UK, Miss Nedeline Hines and her twin, Neddy Ann Hines, they are both working in the UK, respectively in London North, as ICU nurse in London Northwest University and Royal Brompton and Harefield Hospital. And we also have Mr. Brian Kalimbing as medical ICU nurse in University Hospital of Bonn in Germany. Bonn just FYI, Bonn is the former capital of Germany before Berlin. So if you are planning to go, or if you, just in case, if you go to Bonn, you can see a lot of old buildings, German architectural old buildings. So we also have Miss Eileen Jailaron. She's working also as a nurse in UK. Miss Ephraim Desra, also a former, what do you call this one? Former Mr. Lopez. I think that's Miss Desra is former secretary for the Nursing Student Council, year 2012. And of course, I'm proud of these two people, Mr. Virgo Lopez, the National International Reviewer, and Miss Vanessa Gassat, National International Reviewer. So lastly, we have in the Philippines Miss Matea Calianta, staff nurse in Jose Reyes Memorial Medical Center, and many more. And we have one of my friends sent me a video for you guys. So I don't know if it's clear, but let me try to play this one. So this is Mr. Brian Kalimlim, working in medical ICU in University Hospital Bonn, or in German, that's Universitätsklinikum Bonn. And I think this one, he shot this one in Austria. This one is what do you call this one? He's an adventurer. He almost traveled the European countries. He's been in Switzerland, in Austria, in Spain, Italy, I think in Finland, and Czech Republic, etc. So this person is an avid traveler. So I just want to add, if you, just in case if you plan to go to Germany, your German working visa is like your German working visa is a Schengen visa. That means when we say Schengen visa, these are the countries that you can travel to. For example, if you have the working visa in Germany, you can travel to Spain, to Paris, France, to Amsterdam, Netherlands, etc. So it's one of the most powerful working visas available up to this date. So here is the I don't know if you can hear his voice. I believe you don't. Wait.
There's no sound, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's a problem. What's how can I? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how to troubleshoot this one. I just translate what he's saying because I've watched his video 3 times. He's trying to say to just say hi to you, UCCon students, and good luck to your future endeavor, and don't give up. Don't give up, and just try harder, and just do your best to finish the nursing school. And he said some German words like what he said, viel Glück, that means good luck. And yeah, bye bye. He said. So I'm sorry, guys, because I don't know how to troubleshoot this one. It's unfortunate, but yeah, he's now in Austria, I think. I'm traveling with his friends, his Filipino friends. So just want to say this one: never give up, because great things take time. For you now, I know it's exhausting and stressful to have this kind of setup because during our time with Mr. Lopez, we didn't have this kind of online seminar or webinar. It's it's happy to see that UCCon students now are so resilient and resourceful to have this kind of to execute this kind of learning. So yeah, just do your best. Take one step at a time. Nursing licensure examination is easy if you did your part learning the nursing concept in nursing school and did your part in reviewing the nursing concepts before taking the exam. So yeah, so thank you for inviting me as your guest speaker, and I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, and because like what I've said, it's my first time. Yeah, thank you.
May we have a virtual clap for Mr. Remigel Arbistol?
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for that sharing that you have for us. Alam mo, partner, yung pinaka nag-impact sa akin sa hinabahaba ng sinabi ni sir. Ito yun. Never give up because great things take time.
I agree, partner. Because I believe that each one of us has his or her own timeline. So, laban lang. Darating din yung time natin.
Yes.
So, let me ask you again a question, partner.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
after graduation and passing the board exam, let's all claim it.
Amen.
Do you consider pursuing your career abroad or here in our country?
For me, partner, kasi, di ba, I believe naman, after we have our, what do you call this? The license, di ba? I believe the first 2 years of our license, for me kasi I have to give back to our country. That's my really really hard, di ba?
That's great.
Makatao tayo, friend. Hindi joke lang. So yan, for me. But let's see. Kasi naman, di ba, hindi nakasanayan natin naman talaga na after we graduate, kailangan muna ng experience before we can go abroad. But there are some ngayon, lalo na nag-COVID, I believe, mas maraming opportunity na hindi na kailangan ng experience. But for me, yan, that's my plan. May a draft na ng plan ko after ng
That's nice.
Oo. Sa'yo naman, partner.
Yes, I consider if the opportunity permits.
Yeah.
And with enough experience, of course. So, let's...
Okay. So now, let's proceed with our question and answer portion.
Okay, the first question is from Miss Comicho. Hi, Miss Comicho. Please unmute and turn on your camera. Thank you.
So, good evening, everyone. My question for sir would be, aside from working abroad as a nurse and working in hospitals here in the Philippines, what other emerging opportunities for nurses are there that has a substantial salary?
Like what I've said, there are emerging opportunities in the Philippines, like in big hospitals there in Manila, for example, in St. Luke's and Asian Hospital. And there are also emerging opportunities in BPO companies as a USRN or PHRN agent. For example, I just want to emphasize this one as USRN agent, you could have as much as 40,000 to 50,000. Some earn up to 70,000 before tax. And if you plan to go to hospital, I advise you to target big hospitals that I've mentioned, because they are a JCI. It means they have better working conditions. They offer higher salaries as compared to the other hospitals in the Philippines. So yeah, and apart from that, target or choose perhaps your area of specialization. So I'm not saying that being an IC nurse or being a dialysis nurse is better than just a med-surg nurse, because medical surgical nurse is not a just job. Yeah, I believe it's harder actually than the other specialized areas of nursing, because for example, my wife is a med-surg nurse here in the US, and in the UK in the past, she handled, for example, in the UK, I think she handled 10 patients. So 1 is to 10. So like that. So yeah, there are a lot of emerging opportunities in the Philippines that have substantial salary, like the things that I've mentioned.
All right. Thank you, sir, for
Thank you for asking.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So for the next question, let's have Mr. Saleo. Please open your video and please unmute.
Hello.
I'm working.
Good evening po. So my question is, what other specialized education can the nursing institutes offer to students to promote more job opportunities aside from working in hospitals and universities?
Okay. So what other specialized education can the nursing institutes offer to students? I think since there are non-English countries that are now offering more jobs for Filipino nurses, I suggest the nursing institutions or the nursing in the Philippines to institute or to have foreign language program. For example, German language program or Japanese or Nihongo language program. If you have that one, if you have the certification and if you have the skill to speak these languages, you have the higher chance to have the emerging opportunities in the future. So I suggest having foreign language program. It's one of the better things to have. Yeah, thank you for asking, Mr. Saleo.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for that answer. I agree with you. And then for the next question, Miss Arganda.
Hello po, sir. My question is, aside from the salary, how is nursing practice in the Philippines different from abroad?
Aside from the salary, how's nursing practice? There's a large difference in relation to nursing practice in the Philippines and abroad. For example, in Germany, I experienced, I experienced more professionalism in terms of nursing care, in terms of giving constructive criticism to your colleagues, and also with the equipment. Unfortunately, Philippines has older equipment, older medical equipment, like the mechanical ventilators, the dialysis machines. Philippines has outdated machines. So in terms of nursing practice, as nurses in the Philippines, we could not apply the ideal ones in terms of giving care to the patients. For example, in the dialysis centers, if you have the old machines, old frailing machine, how could you meet your target goal? For example, target goal to, what I mean is the water you need to remove from the patient, the goal, if you have an old and frailing machine. And also, I think Germany, for example, has a lot of medical doctors, but Germany has fewer nurses. So in my case, in surgery ICU or surgical ICU, or in Germany, Chirurgie Intensive Station, it's very ideal talking to different doctors, talking to different health professionals, respiratory therapies. They also have, what they call this one, professional, health professional caring for particularly the physical therapies, I mean. It's like Germany is very ideal if you want to work there. And unfortunately, the Philippines has a long way to go before achieving this kind of ideal setup like Germany and the UK. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you so much, sir. So for the next question, let's have Mr. Piamonte. Please turn on your video and
Hello, sir. My question is, instead of working abroad, what are the future assured advantages of career prospect for nurses here in the Philippines?
Okay. Instead of working abroad, what are the future assured advantages of career prospect? Assured advantages, I think number one is if you, just in case, hired in St. Luke's Medical Center, you have better salaries, a better salary, I mean, and you have secure job for depending on the contract, but most of the time 2 to 3 years, and yeah, you have secure job, you have better salary, you don't experience the what we call the emotional distress that we experience here abroad, the homesickness, and another assured advantages perhaps is yeah, you could what do you call this one? You could be the nurse manager or the head nurse in that hospital if you plan just to work in the Philippines. So yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for asking.
Question, Miss Talam, please turn on your camera and unmute so sir can recognize you.
Okay. Okay, good evening to you all, and thank you, sir, for sharing your ideas. My question as a foreigner is, as a foreigner, I want to take NCLEX exam here in Philippines, but I don't know how I will do it.
Okay, how do you do it? I cannot give you exact advice because I did mine, or I did process mine while working in Germany. But if you're in the Philippines, you could do the processing via online, because I did mine the New York State Board of Nursing pure online. So you could visit their website, the New York, I believe the New York Education website. There you will find the list of requirements you need to comply or you need to pass. So as I have said earlier, the only basic requirements they they demanded were the OTR from UC and the my Philippine nursing license from PRC. So you can also opt for the services offered by different agencies or different companies there in the Philippines. The common ones are the NAIAC, located in Manila, and also the IPAS, which is a Davao-based company, but there are more. The IPAS is more cheaper than the NEA. And personally, I advise you, if you want to apply for NCLEX, I advise you to. I'm not marketing in behalf of IPAS, but I found IPAS as more reliable processing agent, and the IPAS is more cheaper than the NEA. So yeah, you can search in the internet about NEA and IPAS and decide which services you want to have. Yeah. Thank you for asking, Ms. Talam.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So, sir, we have here a question sent via private message in our chat box from Mohammed Zain Salwa. She says, to apply to UK, do I need the Philippine license since I am a foreign student? And if yes, how can I take it?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sorry, sir. To apply to UK, do I need the Philippine license since I am a foreign student? And if yes, how can I take it?
Okay, that's a hard question, and I don't have first-hand information about the exact. I don't have the exact information how to address that one, because I'm only familiar with the Philippine setup going to the UK. But I believe if he if he a foreign graduate, I think he still needs to have the Philippine nursing license. I'm sorry, I'm not really sure. Like what I said, I'm not familiar with the setup. If you're a foreign graduate in the Philippines, and if the UK requires you to have to pass the nursing licensure examination in the Philippines. Yeah.
Remigel?
Yeah.
All right. Probably I can add to the answer of Sir Remigel. As discussed in our Republic Act 9173, was it Sir Abdulaziz, right, Ms. Kicho? Was it Mr.
Mohammed
Aziz?
Z.
All right. Anyway.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Foreigner. Yeah. If we may review our Republic Act 9173, the Nursing Act of 2002, not unless the country you came from has a reciprocity in our country, meaning Filipino nurses can also take your local board exam in your country, then you will be allowed here. Otherwise, if your country does not allow Filipino nurses to take the local board in your country, then you are not also allowed to take your local board here in the Philippines. So I believe Sir Remigel, what she needs to have would be to go back to her country and have her license there to be
okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, yeah. Like what I said, I'm not familiar with that setup. Thank you for the clarification, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So for the next question, let's have
Mr. Mohammed Ayman.
Good evening, sir. My question is, how could you encourage patriotism to nursing students who plans to work abroad?
Okay. I myself found that question very hard to answer. Okay. Each nurses in the Philippines has different opinions or views about patriotism. Some would say, I think one way to show patriotism is to go abroad. How? By the dollars or the euros you earn, somehow you could help the Philippine economy to recover, especially now that the Philippines is going into recession. So that's one way to show patriotism. Some would say patriotism is just work in your own country and not to go abroad. That's also correct for me. But then, my point is one or no person could, no person should not, what they call this one, force you to just work in the Philippines because first and foremost, um, he or she or perhaps the government didn't have any, what do you call this one, didn't help you to finish the nursing school, especially if you spend thousands of pesos from your own pocket. So you have the constitutional right to choose which country you want to work as a nurse, and you have the right, absolute right, to help your families like that one as a way to pay back from spending thousands of pesos just to finish the school and pass the nursing licensure examination. Yeah, thank you for asking, Sir Mohammed.
Thank you so much, sir. So now let's have again po another question from Mr. Reyes.
Good morning, sir. Sir Bristol, and good evening, Sir Lopez, and to all students here. Here's now my question, Sir Bristol. What characteristics will you suggest that a nursing student and as a future healthcare provider should have in him or her to attain one of the best emerging opportunities for nurses, particularly in abroad? Sir?
Okay. Okay. I personally, in my own experience, I can give you advice, or I can give you advice about this one. I've learned this one. Actually, I've learned this one in a hard way. In Germany, be on time always, because we know there is a thing called Filipino time. The Filipino time attitude or culture is not applicable to Western countries, particularly in Germany and here in the USA. So one characteristic you need to learn, you need to have is be on time. Second one is have this self-discipline. So I know there are a lot of temptations around the world. A lot of temptations like social media. There are deadlines set by the professor, set by your clinical instructors, but then there are distractions from what is happening around the world, distractions from Facebook, distractions from Instagram, or from distractions from relationships, for example. So you need to have a self-discipline. Third one, I think, is if given the chance to lead, be a leader in your group. Because if you have, or what I'm trying to say is, be a risk taker. So, be a risk taker, I think it will help you in the future to achieve one of the best jobs abroad and in the Philippines, because you have this confidence to like try different emerging opportunities for nurses. So for me, be on time, have this self-discipline, and be a calculated risk taker.
Okay, sir. Thank you for that great suggestion.
Thank you also, Sir Reyes.
Yung sila muna.
Okay, we have a few questions here in the chat box. First question
Okay.
is, based on your experiences from working in different countries with advanced healthcare, what do you think is lacking in the Philippine healthcare system?
Can you repeat that question?
The question is, based on your experiences from working in different countries with advanced healthcare, what do you think is lacking in the Philippine healthcare system?
Okay. Hmm, Wait. I believe the problem is the healthcare delivery system itself, because we have, actually, we have one of the best healthcare delivery system. Um, However, the problem is the implementation, the execution of this system. We have actually nurses, Philippine nurses, particularly state nurses or government nurses, are qualified to have SG15, or what we call the SG15, or salary grade of 30,000, more than 30,000 pesos. However, only last year that this what do you call this one, that this law is highlighted or reinterpreted by the Supreme Court. And I think, yeah, that's the problem, is the execution of the healthcare delivery system that we have. And the second one is having a continuous professional education for us nurses in the Philippines. For example, here in the US, you have the chance to be nurse practitioner in that matter. So being a nurse practitioner in the US and other Western countries, you have the, what do you call this one? You have the power to diagnose or to prescribe medicines to the patients, like that one. In the Philippines, I believe we don't have that kind of program, for particularly for nurse to be a nurse practitioner. But I think there are some program, but there are not government recognized program, or yeah, there are not government licensed program. We have, I believe, in Heart Center, Heart Center, which is in Quezon City. They have a program for this one, and I'm not sure, but I heard from my friends that they have this program. But you cannot be a nurse practitioner per se in the Philippines, because the Philippines doesn't have any licensure examination for you to be a nurse practitioner. And anything else is what else? I think the benefits. We know, it's obvious, we know that foreign countries, first world countries, have better benefits than in the Philippines, unfortunately.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much po. So for our another question po, what's the minimum required band or score of IELTS in Germany and UK?
Let me clarify that one. In Germany, you don't need band scores. Band scores are only used, these words are only used for IELTS. IELTS, or the International English Language Testing System. That is the exam required in US or okay, in the US. Can you hear me, Mr. Lopez, or can you hear me, students?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. That is only particularly used in IELTS, those band scores. So in Germany, what we have is the leveling. We have the B2 level, the B1, A1, A1, A2, B1, B2 level. So you need to pass those levels before working or before going to Germany. And the required band scores. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, sir. I'll just ask in a while.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
I'll ask later.
Okay. Okay. And the required IELTS band score for the US and for the UK. First, in the US, you need to have at least 7 overall band scores, meaning when you do the average from the 4 band sections, we have the speaking, listening, writing, and writing, listening, speaking, and reading. When you add those and multiply to get the average, you must have 7. You must have 6.5. But in speaking section, the band score required for the US is 7. And other band sections, the speaking, listening, and writing only require you to have at least 5.5. And for the UK, originally, during my time, when I tried to apply, actually I tried to apply in the UK. Unfortunately, this written part or the writing section was so really hard to have 7. I did the IELTS thrice, and I only got 6.5. And I got frustrated, and I just applied to Germany because perhaps I said at the time, perhaps London is not for me. Yeah, and and what do you call this one? And for the UK, for speaking, listening, and writing, you need to have at least 7 band score. So it's higher than the required band scores in the US. And for writing exam, they change it from 7 to 6.5. So it's easier to have now. But it's too late for me because my IELTS score sheet or IELTS certificate has been expired. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for that. For another question, let's have from Miss Ilichukwo. So she says, andyan pala siya. So sorry.
Good evening, sir, and thank you for joining us today, sir. So, sir, my question is this. Is there a key skill that all nurse leaders should develop in today's environment? Then what advice do you give to nurses going into a leadership position for the first time?
Is there a key skill that an honors leader should develop in today's environment? What advice do you give? I believe actually there are a lot of key skills you need to have to be effective, to be an effective leader. But I've observed this key skill from one of my great friends, one of your instructors. You need to be the best follower to be the best leader. What I mean is, you don't feel if you're a student and you have requirements to finish that your instructors gave you. I'm not saying that you just follow and then just comply and then done. No, I'm saying is you do your part. You do your part as a student. You do you spend your time learning those concepts, for example, and you're following the goal of the school, not really just because the clinical instructor said you to do so. So it's like having a mission and vision in your mind that I am doing this because I have a goal. It's not because I just only want to finish this one, like that one. So that goal is to pass the nursing exam, to be a nurse someday, to be a proud member of the society, like that one. So yeah, be the best follower to be the best leader. Thank you for asking me.
Thank you, sir.
The next question is from Ms. Payangkao. Ms. Payangkao, please turn on your camera and unmute.
How should we modify ourselves to face the future effectively? How does success look like in response?
Sorry, Miss Koyangka, we cannot hear you.
It's okay. I can read the question.
It's okay na. Sir, my question is, what should we modify in ourselves as a nurse student to face the future effectively, sir?
How should we modify ourselves student nurse to face the future effectively? Okay. Own experiences. Don't procrastinate as possible. So that's one of my that's one of my um, one of the things that I'm having a hard time to get rid of to procrastinate. So until now I do that, but I've somehow lessened that kind of attitude. But yeah, so don't procrastinate. Own experience when I was in college with Mr. Lopez. Finish the task. Because way back 2012, Mr. Lopez is the governor of the College of Nursing. He's my boss, technically. So yeah, he was so strict and he was so organized in everything that you need to finish this on time like that one. And there were times that he got angry because I prioritize relationship before tasks or assignments. So yeah, and so own advice is just have self-discipline, don't procrastinate, finish the task, finish the assignments on time, give yourself a break. And how does success look like on this point of view? I thought I thought it's like what do you call this one? Sa Tagalog, parang nakahinga na ako kasi tapos na lahat ng mga kwento. But in my point of view, it's having those positions. It means those translate to bigger responsibilities because we're not just after the professional titles; they are after how you how you justify those positions. So, for example, in Germany, you're a German RN, and as an ICU nurse there, I was having a hard time to give care to patients because I need to translate everything in Germany. Okay, in Germany, if you plan to go to Germany, you need to speak in German because people there don't speak English. So that's just an extra for you if you plan to go to Germany. So the first obstacle there is to understand their language. That time I was having a hard time conversing in German, and then we have this medical German. So you need to be more responsible by giving the best care as much as possible to patients. So point of view, having a nurse now, having this position are big responsibilities we need to fulfill.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fayang Kao.
Thank you po. For the next question, let's have from you. Let's have the most beautiful student of BSN 4, Mr. Rivas, please
Mhm.
open your camera. Hello, sir. So my question would be,
Do you agree, Mr. Lopez?
di ba nag-angat
Okay,
sir?
I'm sorry.
We are all entitled to our own dream, probably. Go ahead, Mr. Rivas.
I'm sorry, sir. So for my question, due to COVID crisis experience, will there be greater opportunities for the nurses globally with great offers of salary and benefits that will last for a long time?
Due to crisis experience, will there be greater opportunities for the rest globally? Great offers of salary and benefits will last for a long time. Yes, there will be more opportunities for nurses globally, particularly here in the US. US still has nursing shortage until now. This COVID crisis just highlighted how nurses really important in the society. So by saying that, I think it highlighted or it uh, somehow forces different countries to have or to improve the healthcare in their own state and to hire more nurses, particularly Filipino nurses. So the question, with the great offers of salary and benefits, I can give you an example here in the US. For New York, actually, I attempted to apply I think last June or July this year, because I am licensed with that state and I'm allowed to practice. I attempted to apply because the New York at that time offered to have you $100 to $150 per hour. So that translate to more than 500,000 pesos per month before tax. So it is one of the best, great examples. At least one of the great examples of the effects of COVID. So yeah, other states also offer this kind of benefits and salaries. And I'm sorry, just want to add, because I didn't read this one, that will last for a long time. Before COVID, US has average, the US gives average salary of for California, for example, $70 to $80 per hour. So if you work for 12 hours per day and you work three times per week, how much is that one? I don't have any calculator. But yeah, you can have as much as 200 to 400,000 before pandemic. It's just that because of this pandemic, it highlighted or it forces different states here in the US to release the funds, emergency funds, to help different nurses here in the US. So I believe it will, after COVID, these benefits like the high salary in the US will last. Post-COVID.
Thank you so much, sir.
For the next question, from Ms. Balcanao. Please turn on your camera and
Good evening, sir. My question is, how will emerging opportunities affect the current nurses now and upcoming RNs post-pandemic?
How will emerging opportunities affect nurses and upcoming RNs post-pandemic? The local setup, I mean in the Philippine setup, it will affect the current registered nurses there in a positive way. Somehow, in a way that there are more opportunities offered by the government agencies like the DOH, and more big hospitals open up to fulfill their nurse vacancies, because most of their nurses, particularly in St. Luke's and Asian hospitals, I think, went abroad already. So they don't have any choice but to hire nurses and to reduce or to have a lesser requirements. And with Filipino nurses abroad, it will also affect in a good way, because there are more jobs offered. However, it's risky. Like you will be more likely assigned to COVID areas like that one. So yeah, there will be more opportunities for current nurses. And for upcoming RNs like you guys, future RNs, post-pandemic, hopefully this pandemic will end soon or sooner. You have, I believe you have a better set of options. Like what I've said, this pandemic highlighted how important nurses in the world. So most of the countries, or if not all, overhaul their healthcare system and prioritize to hire more healthcare professionals like nurses. So you have more opportunities in the future. And that's, I believe that's a, what do you call this one? The statistics that I've read in one of the healthcare websites.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Bacanao.
So thank you so much, sir, for that. For the next question, let's have from Mr. Barcarse.
Oh, you're
Good
in
morning,
space.
Amidst COVID-19 pandemic, will the opportunity for nurses going abroad decline due to forcing nurses to work in the PH?
I believe your question is related to the president declaration last time to ban Filipino nurses to go abroad. And I started and somehow some of the employers are some of the employers are disappointed with how the government handles particularly forcing the nurses to work in the Philippines, which last 2 months or 2 months ago, I believe, or 1 month ago. And that's it. For example, in Germany, I have a lot of friends who are supposed to leave for Germany last, I think, July, but then they were barred by the PUA. They were not given the signal, or what we call this, the certificate to leave the country. So somehow the German employers, the German hospitals, are disappointed because they have also this timeline for Filipino nurses to be there and to help also to fight the COVID-19. But I believe this is only an isolated case because we know now the ban for nurses were lifted.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. For the next question. Next question from Mr. Tinakba.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
what area of specialization is really needed for a newly registered nurse to be able to apply and be hired in other countries that offers greener pasture to Filipino nurses?
Okay, specializations. We are in other countries. Most countries like Germany, UK, and the US prefer nurses with ICU experience. I believe the area of specialization is having an ICU experience, and having this kind of specialization, you have more chances to be hired in first world countries like Germany or in the UK. Although med-surg nurses are also in demand here in the US and in the UK, and also in Japan, I believe.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So for the next
Eh,
question.
I'm sorry.
Okay, sir.
I'm sorry. Let me add. When you say intensive care unit, there are different types of ICU nurses. So I've just learned that. I've learned that before in college, but I've been learning that while in Germany. Because in Germany, in my hospital, the Universitätsklinikum Bonn, it has 5 different intensive care units. They have the surgery units, surgery ICU. They have the brain ICU. They have the anesthetic. What's the German? Anesthesia ICU, and they have the medical, and the other one I forgot. So when you have experience as an ICU nurse in the Philippines, you have the leverage. You have the leverage or the higher chance to be accepted in these countries and be assigned to a particular ICU unit. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Tina.
All right. Thank you, sir. So for another question, let's have Miss Aquino.
Good day, sir. My question is, do opportunities here in the Philippines maximize the skills or capabilities of the nursing profession?
It depends. We have question is yeah, it depends. We have like what I said, we have JCI hospitals in the Philippines. Common ones are the St. Luke's and the Asian Hospital. We have the St. Luke's in BGC and St. Luke's in QC. These hospitals, JCI accredited hospitals, have the have higher standards than the average hospitals. They follow the international standards like in the UK and here in the US. So with that in mind, I believe you can maximize as a new nurse, if you are employed there, the skills and the nursing concepts that you have learned in the nursing school, because they have the ideal setup. They have the updated equipment, medical equipment. They have, hopefully, they have complete PPEs like that one. And they have perhaps a more or a better organization of nurses like that one. So it depends. So I advise you to choose, if you have the chance to choose or target big hospitals with good certification or accreditation. I'm sorry. Not only St. Luke's or Asian hospitals, there are also other hospitals that are accredited with other accrediting institutions. Like I believe, like Baguio General Hospital is also accredited by the TUV. TUV is a German certification institution or accrediting institution. TUV, I believe. ISO TUV. And also the Dagupan Villaflor Hospital, Dagupan Doctors Villaflor Hospital. So it's also TUV, ISO TUV accredited institution. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. For the next question from Ms. Nam.
Good day, sir. How may a nurse know which opportunity to take, especially in this time of pandemic, with a surge of choices and open doors, but also higher risk?
How may a nurse know which opportunity to take, especially in this time of pandemic? Search options. For me, there's no right opportunity or wrong. There's no right opportunity or wrong opportunity. One might perceive a good opportunity, might perceive by the others as not. So your question, how may you know which opportunity to take? You need to make your own list of criteria, and each criterion should meet, and your own criterion should meet this opportunity. For example, do I plan to be a dialysis nurse someday? Okay, if you plan to be a dialysis nurse someday, then if there's an opportunity, for example, in Notre Dame hospital, then grab that one and undergo training with them or with other agency or with other standards. And yeah, but if you plan to be, but if your problem is you don't have capital or you don't have money to finance the training, because we know most or some of the trainings are need to be paid, then grab opportunities that give you financial freedom. Financial freedom first before taking your intended goal. So, like what I said, if you plan to be a dialysis nurse or intensive care nurse, but you don't have the capital to undergo training, to pay that training, then just take perhaps the opportunity to be a USRN agent if you're USRN, or to be, let's say, to work with other professionals in the clinics, like that one. So if you save some money and then recharge and then go follow your original plan to be the ICUs in the Philippines or in abroad. So what I'm trying to point out is you need to have a plan. You need to make your own criteria, and then if that opportunity meets your own criteria, then go. Why not? Yeah, thank you, Ms. Nam.
Thank you so much, sir, for that. And for our last question, sir, we have here a follow-up question from one of our participants. He says, since you mentioned that working abroad is ideal rather than working here in the Philippines, did you find it hard to work here compared to abroad?
Um, how should I address that question? Okay. That's okay. First, it's harder to work in the Philippines than here abroad, because first we don't have the ideal setup, we don't have the updated equipment, medical equipment, we don't have enough supplies like for PPEs, like PPEs. I mean, we don't have what do you call this one? We don't have um, updated. We don't have updated nursing, let's say nursing regulation, nursing updates, and we don't have stable healthcare delivery system. However, I've read that there's this one SB 318. That's I think a bill. That's the Advanced Nursing Education Act that it proposes to for nurses to apply their what do you call this one? Apply their skills and research achievements in the Philippines and to be a nurse practitioner, I believe. So I think that's a new proposed bill for an attempt to improve the nursing in the Philippines. Has been 318. And I find it's easier to be a nurse here abroad, except for Germany. Because, but just a disclaimer: in Germany, you can the employer will give you a lot of resources to adjust to their cultures and language. But I find it harder to be a nurse there because of the language barrier. But here in the US, based on my wife's experience, it's easier because they have the ideal setup. And also in the UK, we have a more stable and more updated equipment per se. So yeah, it's harder to be a nurse in the Philippines. You don't know what's really the future of nurses there because of political. But I hope that in the future, nursing in the Philippines will be at par with nursing here in the US and the UK. That's my hope for the Philippines. And yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It looks like we have covered all of your questions. Sir Bristol, any final thoughts you would like to share before we wrap up?
Like what I've said, there's no right and wrong opportunity for you to have be a cultivated risk taker like I was before, because like what I've said, I didn't have any plan what to do that time. Do I need to be, or do I want to be a dialysis nurse, or be an ICU nurse, or just wanna be a nurse or just a school nurse like that? So yeah, just experiment, but don't what do you call this one? Don't ano ba sa Tagalog nun? Wag mong hayaan, I mean, don't let yourself be intimidated by others' success. So if you're not yet, for example, if you didn't plan to take the licensure examination next year, then take it the other time if you have a personal problem like that one. So yeah, don't be intimidated with others. Just focus on yourself. Focus on improving yourself. do your best. What else? Then just focus on your goal. So when tired, just rest and then continue. So don't stop. And if you are depressed because of this pandemic or because of broken relationship, just move on and go on and just prove to yourself and to others that you can be the best among the rest, or you can be a better self than the past, like that one. So yeah, good. So thank you for inviting me, guys.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you po for inspiring us and for motivating us to become that great RNs in the future. Thank you so much for giving us a time, sir.
Yeah,
And
it's my pleasure.
for our closing remarks, let's have our very own instructor, Mr. Virgo Clemente. Sir?
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Tolibas. Yeah, right. And of course, Ms. Eiffel. So let me be quick. Good evening, everyone, and good morning, Sir Remedial from the United States. Foremost, I am forever grateful to your usual, what's this, act of kindness and generosity of your time and everything for really lending your time, your worthy experiences to our future colleagues in the nursing profession. So quickly, I would like to wrap up everything with 7 E's. All right. The first one is have the end in mind. Sir Remedial mentioned about having the goal. So what do you really want? If you want to stay here, then stay here and maximize all the opportunities in the Philippines. If you want to go abroad, beyond the shorelines, then go and fulfill your dream. So end in mind is very important. Secondly is your education. Your fourth-year nursing students and the rest of the college students here, you have to finish it because the Bachelor of Science in Nursing is a requirement for you to take the exam. And speaking of the exam, the third E is your eligibility because you have to have your license, correct? And for you to become registered nurses or real nurses someday. The fourth E would be experience because Sir Remedial mentioned about having at least 1 year experience because it would be a key for you to have more opportunities abroad. Another E would be the edge, and that would be for you to have foreign language like Nihongo, or let's say, the language in Germany, the German language rather. So have the edge for you to be different from others. And do not be intimidated. Probably you're better than the others, but they're better in some way. So have the edge. And then letter E, exploit all the opportunities through, let me borrow the words from Sir Remedial, through calculated risk taking. I'll say it again. Exploit all opportunities because there's no good opportunity or bad opportunity. Once it's there, take the risk, but be sure it's calculated. And finally, explore beyond the shorelines. You are nurses, and beyond this, we can care, not only in the country, but all over the world. Because as Dr. Euphemia has mentioned, through Sir EJ, through research, we can be nurses all over because we are the choice of the Filipinos and we are the choice for the world. Thank you and good evening. Ms. Picho and Ms.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we will proceed with the giving of certificate to our guest speaker, which will be presented by Ma'am Juliet Avena and Sir Virgo.
All right. On behalf of the entire College of Nursing, and we're so happy, Sir Remedial, as an alumnus and co-alumnus of the university in 2012. It has been 8 years, so I'm proud to present to you University of the Cordilleras, Baguio City. Certificate of Appreciation is given to Mr. Remedial R. Bristol, and with pride, MAN, RN, LPT, JKPRN, and USRN, congratulations for your recent success. For being a speaker on emerging opportunities for nurses on October 19, 2020 as part of the webinar series on the intricacies of nursing, trends, transitions, and directions amidst disruptions. All for the course, Nursing Leadership and Management, NCM 107, given this 19th day of October 2020 in Baguio City, Philippines, that you missed, and we miss you as well here. Signed, the Dean of the College of Nursing, and she extends her congratulations and her pride for your success, Judith Odani, G. Maguilang, and your friend and your fellow student leader, and of course, as a dreamer continuously, yours truly, Virgo Lopez, the instructor of this course. And on behalf of the BSN 4A, which I'm proud to handle for this time, congratulations and thank you once again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And it's my pleasure to give back to you guys.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Um, please stay everyone for the picture taking. As we all know, the documentation is the hallmark of accountability in the nursing practice. So please stay. And as for your certificates, you will receive them through your email within this week. Thank you, participants. Let's have a picture taking. Please open your cameras. Okay. Okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Another one.
One, two, three, smile. All right. So again, thank you, Paul, for to everyone. We also want to thank our dear clinical instructors, our dean, Mrs. Magwilang, and of course, our very own instructor, Sir Virgo Clemente, and to all the participants who are with us tonight. And I would like to recognize the presence of our NLM video speaker, Mrs. Pearl Marie Santonia. She's also with us tonight. And also, we want to thank the chairwomen of our class, Miss Alisa Ashley Aquino and Jaday Dayanam, for leading and managing the whole class all throughout the process of our webinar series, and to our fellow classmates for doing their part. It was indeed a successful webinar series. Congratulations to everyone.
Congratulations, classmates.
Good luck, future RNs.
Thank you, Sir Remigel. For BSN 4A, please stay. Let's just have 10 minutes at most so that we don't meet tomorrow. For the rest of the students, you may leave the room now. So Remigel, I'll talk to you in a few. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sige po, we can remove already the other students so that we can facilitate a faster culmination of our class. Come on. The host, please remove now the other students so that we can start the class. Thank you.
Where's we're done?
Oh, sige. Open your camera, everyone, and bring out your food. You can eat the dinner, or you can eat, let's say, midnight snack already, or your breakfast for tomorrow. All right?
Wala pang naluto, sir.
Wala pang naluto. O sige, habang Miss Pataray, habang nagluluto ka, magpakulo ka na ngayon para pag natapos ako, kumukulo na. Tapos, i-explain mo sa bata, yung 5-year-old blind child na yun yung red. Tama? Okay, come on. Let's remove the other participants now so that we can start. Andito pa si Sir Remigel. You may leave na po. And Sir Barcarce, please transfer to me. I will record the class now.